How's it going?
What's up, guys?
All right. We have picture and we have sound. This is good.
Sweet.
There you go. Now I see all you guys.
All right.
How you doing?
Doing great. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. No, we're super excited to have you on. This is going to be a fun special episode. So,
Awesome.
Eric, what's your terrible dad joke?
Oh, jeez. I don't have a good one, but I'm actually not. I'm not good at inside jokes, quote quote. Did you hear about the woman who saved the world?
No.
It was legendary.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so bad. Yeah, exactly how bad my jokes are.
Terrible.
What, can you beat that, Demarco?
Gotta love it. Maybe. What do you call an old snowman?
What?
Water.
I don't know. I think she's gonna beat both of us, Demarco.
He's gonna beat both of us for sure.
You probably have already you totally probably heard this one too. Why do golfers always take 2 pairs of socks?
Ooh. See, you golf, so I feel like you
hole in one.
Do what?
Oh, nice. They say get a hole in one. That's awesome. Yeah. She definitely beat both of us.
She wins. This is why she's our guest, Demarco.
That's fantastic. Yeah, awesome. All right. Well, Becca, welcome. We're super excited to have you. Want to thank all of you so much for tuning in to another episode of Deadlifts, Dogs, and Dad Jokes. I'm your host, Demarco. Got my co-host, Mr. Eric Chichu, on here. And we have a very special guest on here that I know a little bit. We don't know each other a whole lot. So this will be kind of fun. We'll get to know each other a little bit more and have some fun and talk about some really fun stuff. So Becca, we know you obviously through the gym. I saw you take the super early boxing classes with Mike. I think what were they, 5 a.m. or 5:30 a.m.?
Yeah, I think it was like 5:40 or 5:45, something like that.
Oh,
yeah,
close enough.
An ungodly hour. So very, very crazy time. So how do you pronounce your last name, Becca?
Pilolla.
Pilolla. Okay, I was going back and forth between. So I'm glad you told me that. So well, we have Becca Pilolla here, everyone, and I'm excited. Let's have some fun. So Becca, you were training with Mike. Were you a personal training client of Mike's, or were you just doing the boxing class, or kind of both?
A little bit of both. Mike's the one who really got me into more boxing. I've always done kickboxing, I want to say, but I've always done it with like heavy bags and whatnot. So a little bit different style kickboxing. And then when I met Mike, he's the one who really got me involved in more of the boxing element of everything. And so I started taking his boxing classes every Friday morning. And then that spiraled into more personal training and clients relationship and doing way more boxing on top of the Friday morning classes. So, yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. Mike is quite Eric and I love Mike. He's we mention him pretty much every episode. He's a fantastic.
He's kind of awesome.
Right. Are you still working with him now, or have you gone off and kind of done your own thing? Or
actually, him and I are still in contact, but he's the one who introduced me to the fight I'm actually doing, the Haymakers for Hope charity fight.
Awesome.
And so with that, they kind of hooked me up with a gym and a pro boxing coach. And Mike and I talked about doing a little bit of work on our own as well. Mm-hmm. But little did I know that this was going to be taking up almost my entire life. So I have no room to train.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Well, that's a great segue. That's one of the main reason I wanted to have you on was to talk about this. So if you want to, feel free to tell everybody about your fight and what you're doing it for and what's the whole purpose behind it.
Yeah. So Haymakers for Hope is their hashtag is #KnockoutCancer, KO Cancer. It's all about, it's a straight up charity fight. And it is anywhere, I think there's going to be maybe 16 bouts at the House of Blues with just females. It's called Bells of the Brawl here in Boston, December 7th. Yeah. It's the original. They have now branched out to New York, DC, and even Denver. but the originals are in Boston. So there's a men's and then there's a women's. The men's was earlier in October. And it's all these fighters have never technically been in a fight before. And so we have to raise, so we go and we raise all this money based on ticket sales and charity donations, and it all goes towards cancer research. And Boston's is like the Dana-Farber Foundation, the Jimmy Fund. So I love it because it's not just one specific cancer or anything. It's for all cancer research, which is a huge thing. So, and everybody is literally knocking out cancer and taking a punch to the face to try and help fight this horrible disease. And it's been an eye-opening and like a life-changing experience all in one. Training aside, with my 6 hours a day in the gym, the community itself has been overwhelmingly amazing. It's so awesome. I'm training with 4 other girls, so it's kind of nice that I have teammates. I'm not fighting them, which is even better. But you know, I have my own little like girl gang that we're all going through all of this together, and it really is a huge emotional roller coaster. So it's been amazing. I hate saying that because it's such a cliche, but it's been awesome. It really has.
Yeah, no, that's freaking awesome. I love it. And I may have to step off in a moment. This was, again, my daughter usually naps very well, but of course it's Murphy's Law today, so I may have to step off and let Eric take over. But no, Becca, I think that's really cool, the community aspect. And it's cool how you start off with just some boxing classes and then things developed into what they are now. Yeah. So it's exciting. So you have a professional boxing coach. How is your training going? What's your training looking like? Is this like Rocky style? You know, you're
right?
Like a bunch of different stuff.
So every like Sunday, we usually get a training schedule for the week, and which starts our Mondays through the following Sunday. And I am actually a flight attendant, so I usually can maneuver my schedule pretty well. This month and leading up to the fight, I'm actually very flexible, so I'm going to be home for a lot more, which is great. But in the beginning, I was just traveling Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays, and I would land Wednesday afternoon, early evening, and just drive straight to the gym. Right now, I'm training out of Everybody Fights in Seaport. And I'm working with a strength training coach, Dave Bergeron, and my pro boxing coach is Kevin Cobbs, and he also works at EBF, and he does his own back-to-back boxing gym. So it's pretty nice. I have a really great like strength and conditioning coach, but then I also have my pro boxing coach who also works with my conditioning. And when I'm traveling for work, I FaceTime Cobbs in and we work out in the gyms of the hotels, and he's on FaceTime and I'm sitting there. And people actually have started watching me now in hotel gyms because they're so fascinated with me, like shadow boxing and jump roping and doing all these crazy things that people are like not normally doing in hotel gyms. So when I'm gone, I'm training maybe about 2 hours a day. It's a lot of running, which even Mike will tell you, I hate running, but this has slowly turned me into somebody who can run. Lots and lots of strengthening. And then, so it's about 2 hours of my day when I'm gone, like traveling for work. And then when I'm here, could be up to about 6 hours a day doing 2-a-days or something like that. There have been in the beginning, I felt like I was at the gym about 6 hours. Yeah. So it's maybe about an hour in the morning when I'm home doing some type of cardio or strength training. And then it's maybe 2 hours in the afternoon or 3 hours doing a lot of mitt work, sparring, whatever it may be.
Yeah. All your technical stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it really has. And in between eating for me was like the biggest change. I was not eating enough, and I'm somebody who loves to eat. And I kept thinking, why am I like gassed every time I'm coming out of the gym? And that's when I started feeling like The Rock, and you just like kept eating and eating and you can't get enough food in you. So, I mean, and I meal prep for work. So my meal prepping for 3-day trip has turned into what I meal prep for a 3-day trip is just 1 day's worth of food.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's what I tried to explain to people, especially my flight attendant friends. And my lunchbox is about the size of my rollerboard these days. It's huge. It's massive because I just have to have so much food with me at all times. And I still end up going out to dinner every night because I can't pack dinner every night. There's just no more room.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
Eric, you have any questions?
I was going to say, I mean, with all that training, you're emphasizing, I mean, a couple hours a day, it's a lot. So obviously your metabolism is through the roof. And I think even with our, me and Demarco, our own clients, we've experienced this too, especially with female clients. I think a lot of times they don't want to eat a lot. They think from the standpoint of whether it's weight loss or whatever their goals are, they tend to restrictively eat. I always think intuitive eating is better. I'm sure you can probably even touch on that a little bit too. Like if you're hungry, you should eat. And I think prioritizing based on your activity level, I think the more you're training and exercising or moving, the more you should prioritize your nutrition as well. So I don't know if you want to touch on all the different, as far as assuming your activity level being higher, how you should sort of increase your calories and things like that.
Oh, for sure. I always was trying to do like 1,200 calories a day and like limiting to no carbs, very little carbs, if any. And in the beginning, that's what I was doing. But then, everyone started telling me, you got to eat, you got to eat, you got to eat. And I go, well, I am eating. And I've always been a pretty healthy eater. So I just am like eating all these veggies and chicken, and I'm limiting my fruit intake because I was like, I don't want all this extra sugar. And it slowly turned into, okay, my little bit of carbs, like an English muffin in the morning, you have to almost like double. And there are certain days where I have to triple the carb intake.
Absolutely,
It turned into like about 2,000 calories a day. And that's when I started learning that, okay, that's when I'm performing better. That's when the weight starts coming off, because we have about a 10-pound variation with our opponent. So, and I've been one of those people who've just steadily been dropping weight. So it got to the point where I'm like, okay, I'm eating a lot. I'm working out a lot. I'm dropping weight. This is great. But at the same point, I don't want to drop any more weight. So I started to increase a little bit more of the food again and not work out as hard this past week. But now I'm a little bit over the weight I'm supposed to be. So now we have to go back. So it is a little bit of a battle.
Of course.
But it definitely, I mean, you have time. That's what's nice. I mean, we had 3 months to train for this when we got accepted to about the time that we have our fight. So, but that to me, I think was like the biggest learning curve, because I mean, I was always in the gym anyways, and I've always enjoyed going to the gym, but the whole nutritional aspect of it all, I just was, oh my God, this is what they talk about. Like, this is what athletes always talk about. This is what trainers are always referring to. Holy crap, I get it now.
Oh, absolutely.
So were you were slowly increasing your calories weekly, daily? Like how did that go about?
It was pretty much like how you said, if you're hungry, eat. And then just make sure that you are eating the right stuff. So I always have like 2 breakfasts is pretty much how I consider it, because as a flight attendant, I'm always up at like 3:30 in the morning. So I'm sometimes having lunch by 9:30 or 10 in the morning.
Oh yeah. Eric and I are familiar with that schedule.
So I mean, I will have like, a Greek yogurt with chia seeds and some berries, and then within an hour I'm hungry again. So I was eating like an English muffin, and I would make like egg sandwiches. Well, when I'm home, that's still not enough. So it turned into like 3 or 4 eggs scrambled in with veggies and like ham slices over English muffins. And then I was, okay, now I'm satisfied. I wasn't full. I wasn't feeling sick. But that to me was the biggest shocker. I'm like, seriously, I just ate 3 eggs, 3 slices of ham, like all these veggies, and I'm fine.
You're like, how did I only do 1,200 calories before, right?
Right? So it turned into something gradually adding daily, and that turned into kind of the routine of it all. So it wasn't all at once. I think I would have been sick if I just did it all at once.
I was going to say, your story is very similar. I'm sure, Demarco, you have some insight on this too, but some of my clients, same thing, especially like I said, the female population, I think they tend to restrictively eat. And again, it goes down to how many days are you training, what your activity level is like. Even if you're at a desk all day, though, movement's obviously important. But if you're, again, some people literally just won't eat. They're like, oh, I don't want to, put on too much weight or whatever else. But you're not going to, assuming that you're you're moving around and you're slowly adding calories. Exactly what you said. You're not doing it all at once. That's the big thing. I think you don't need to add everything all at once. It's slowly build, because people, sometimes will say too that they're not hungry. So they don't want to keep consuming more food. But that's why you slowly add the calories on, over time.
Yeah. Absolutely. And that was my big thing, was trying to listen to my body.
Correct.
And not force it to eat.
Yep.
But when I was hungry, I was like, okay, what do I need to eat? What have I not gotten enough of today?
Right.
So that was the big thing, was learning how to listen to my body nutrition wise. So
yeah.
Yep.
Any other questions, Marco, do you have?
Yeah, no, I just to kind of touch on that. That's awesome. I love the fact that you figured it out for yourself. You realize, hey, I'm definitely not getting enough in. I feel awful, and I don't have energy for my training, because, like you said, you're lifting, you're running, you're sparring, you're doing your mitt work, you're doing your bag work, heavy bag and speed bag. That's a lot of movement. 6 hours a day. That's a UFC fighter's training schedule. Seriously, they train 6 to 8 hours a day. And it's funny how, again, women that have never experienced this or don't have much experience in the weight room will hear what you said and say, oh, she's out of her mind. You ate more and you lost weight? That doesn't make sense. What?
Right.
Because you were so low in your calories, your body's caloric intake was just way too low, obviously, for your activity level. So I think that's a great story. And I love, we've had so many female guests on here saying that same thing, but I love it. Just repetition, let people hear it. And hopefully it will, really resonate with our audience. And I love the fact that it's eating to perform and to fuel your body, not just to, fit a certain dress size or get to a certain weight or get to a certain measurement, because as you are going to demonstrate very soon, a woman's body is capable of a hell of a lot more than just fitting into a dress or, hitting a certain measurement. You're going to literally be kicking ass in the ring very soon. So that's freaking awesome. I'm super pumped.
Yeah.
And we'll definitely go more into detail on that event in a little bit. But how is your, Eric and I are both personal trainers, we're strength nerds. How, without going into too much detail, of course, what does your general kind of strength training program look like?
It is a lot of kettlebell work. I know you love it. But what's nice is a lot of the kettlebell work can be done with just dumbbells as well. And I think my strength training coach has designed it for me that way, because not a lot of hotel gyms have kettlebells. So he has to be able to do stuff with me that I can do anywhere. So it's a lot of, I want to say there's maybe like 3 or 4 exercises, and you do maybe 12 reps and you repeat it 6 times, and there's not a lot of break, and you don't think of it. I look at the training schedule, I'm like, okay, this doesn't seem like a lot, but by the 3rd round, I'm like, I'm only on round 3.
Yeah.
And he writes stuff in for me: go heavy, go lighter, use a weight, don't use a weight. A lot of push-ups are involved. There's usually like a strength training set, and then there's a core workout set too. And like I said, on paper, it looks very easy. It doesn't look like it's a lot. And I always thought I was in really good shape. I thought I did really well in the gym. And then I started this, and I'm just like, oh my God, I thought I was Superman before this. No way.
It's all relative too, right? You're stepping very much outside of your comfort zone with this, which is cool. So.
Absolutely. And I've noticed like instantly how much my body has just changed for the better. Like everything is more defined. And I mean, like when my coaches even notice it, they're like, your core's looking really strong, or your muscles have gotten really tight. To me, that means a lot, because as a guy, like I don't feel like guys look at it that way in that aspect. But, I'm like, okay, cool. So if a guy notices that, and my strength training coach, I guess I must be doing something right. So
let me ask you this. How many days a week do you do the strength and core work? Is that daily, or is that 4 or 5 days a week?
Let me think here. So I usually do, well, this week is actually, I feel like way more cardio oriented. But normally I want to say I do like 2 or 3, 4 training, like strength trainings, but every time, at least one of the mitt work days or sparring days, we also do a conditioning afterwards. So it's a lot of core work, with weight.
Conditioning after that?
Huh?
Oh, I'm tired of thinking about
She's
that.
nuts.
It's one of those things where if we're sparring, where our legs have to be fresh. So we can't do anything before sparring. But sometimes, depending on how long we spar, or if we do a lot of mitt work and a little bit of sparring, it's a lot of the heavy ball, the weighted ball slams. We use a lot of steppers and jumping over the steppers. It's a lot of footwork. And then we like Russian twists are a huge thing.
Oh that rotational.
Huge thing. And a lot of, like the deadlifts with the kettlebells, getting like just hip movements. So a lot of those little details like that, I never realized were so important in boxing world.
Yeah.
And that is what like perfects your form, is strengthening these tiny little muscles here or there. And I mean, Russian twists, it makes so much more sense now. Like that's where your body's moving in boxing. So the stronger your core is, just like in most sports, the stronger you're going to perform, the better you're going to perform. So that to me has also been great. Just having not only strength training and cardio, but there is a whole other added core section, because you should always use your core, but having the core section has really helped as well.
On the flip side, someone that wants to get started in something like this, how would you approach that? Like what was, when you first started, did you go this high intensity right away? Obviously not. So where was the starting point for this?
It just kind of spiraled into something that I needed a good ass kicking workout. And it turned into kind of like a love of just beating the crap out of a bag. And then Mike got me involved in mitt work, and I said, okay, this is really fun. So it's gradually turned into that. However, there are like some of my teammates have been a member of Everybody Fights for a couple years, but they have never done mitt work. And they're like, I always thought it was cool because, I could do a heavy bag class, but we now see in the gym, we're like, okay, there's a workout. We can tell who's working out for a workout as a fighter, and we could tell who's a fighter actually training
on
for
skill.
a fight. Yeah. There's a total difference.
Absolutely.
And I think you have to really love doing this. But there's girls who are fighting in this who have never even boxed or never even threw a punch before all this. And it's turned into a really great love affair almost. So I think if you're passionate about something, whether it is cancer, whether it is the Dana-Farber Foundation, whether it is working out or getting in the ring and fighting, there has to be some level of passion there. And that, to me, is what makes it all the more special. Maybe it's not this. There's a lot of people who love spinning, and I know there's a lot of events that work with, biking and spinning and all of that. So anybody who wants to get involved in something this intense, you just have to find what the avenue of passion you're going to take for it.
Demarco, right? Find your why. Find your why. And then once you do that, it'll push you to continue to train and push yourself harder and harder each
especially on days when you don't feel like it. So
Oh, absolutely. And that's something too that I've learned with this. There hasn't really been days I don't want to. Like we've had rest days, and that's when I call Cobbs up and I'm like, hey, can I come do some mitt work? And he goes, yeah, you can do mitt work. And then the girls are like, but it's supposed to be a rest day. And he goes, I'm not making her condition, but if she wants to just perfect her jab or her two, that's all that it is. And it's still somewhat of a workout, but it's nothing intense. It's just working on the 1-2 real quick, or my footwork for a couple minutes. So
that's awesome.
It's turned into a slight obsession.
Hey, no, nothing wrong with that. I'm gonna, speaking of obsession, I'm currently super into the kettlebell stuff, so I'm
ready to train.
Trust me, I understand obsession, and I think with the right things, it can be very, very healthy and very good for you. So, and it's funny, you were talking about, hitting on a bag for a workout versus skill work for an actual fighter. I have no experience in boxing, so whenever I hit on a bag, it is very much for a workout. I probably use way too much upper body and smoke my shoulders and arms and all that. And obviously you've learned it's hips, it's legs, it's that rotational power, very similar to, a baseball player, obviously swinging the bat, hitting the baseball, and many other sports as well. So, man, that's really, really cool stuff. So the organization is called Haymakers for Hope.
Correct.
Yeah, that's really cool. So when is the fight?
So it is December 7th at the House of Blues in Fenway off of Lansdowne.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, doors open at 6:30, and the first fight and all of the ceremony stuff starts at 7:30. So tickets are available. You do need to use a code to unlock it. So it's my last name, Pilolla. If you wanted to buy tickets, that's how you unlock it. And it's going to be a kick-ass time. I actually went to the men's one, and the adrenaline, the atmosphere was just so intoxicating.
Oh, I believe it. Yeah, I've been to bodybuilding shows, and I've been to powerlifting meets before, and those are fun, but I've been to a couple of fights before, and that's just you can't replicate that atmosphere. It's special. It's really special, and it's really cool. There's just a primal feeling that you get, and it's really exciting. Plus, the women fighters, in many ways, they impress me more than the guys do, because a lot of them end up fighting harder. I know in the UFC in particular, they a lot of times they go even harder than some of the guys do. So it's really, really cool. Yeah, I actually tried it. I went on the website after you and I had first messaged each other and was looking at tickets, and I saw the little thing. I was like, man, I got to get a code or something. So what, if your last name, is it just your last name with a capitalized first letter or lowercase?
I think it can be either or. I think when you purchase the tickets, it's all capitalized.
Okay, cool.
So I don't think it matters as long as you spell it right. And I don't think you'd be able to purchase it if you spelled it wrong. So it would just tell you that something's wrong and you need to re-enter it.
Okay.
But I'm pretty excited because my family's like flying in from Florida and Chicago. I have friends that are flying in from like Salt Lake City and New York. And all I keep thinking is, okay, guys, like, way to put the pressure on me right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Flying in. We actually are getting t-shirts made, which was also something I thought was really cool. Going to the guys thing, all the fighters, anybody who was there to support them, they all had like a team shirt made.
Yeah.
And everybody was wearing those.
Well, I want a shirt. When they're available, please let me know. I will happily purchase one.
Okay, cool. Well, I will message you then. I'll show it to you. So it has my fighter name and everything.
We'll link everything below as well for you. We'll put the code and everything below so people can find it.
Awesome. Yeah. So it's going to be a great time. Mm-hmm. And of course, you know, my mom designed the t-shirt. She was pretty proud of them. It has like a little airplane in the corner, like somebody's wings. And then on the back, it has my fighter name's the Bat. So there's a huge black bat carrying boxing gloves. Yes. I am Becca the Bat Pilolla.
That is amazing.
I figured you would like it. You know, Mr. Batman in the Bat Cave over there.
I have more Batman comic books than I care to admit.
Nothing wrong with that.
That's freaking cool. Man, that's well, I think that's actually a perfect segue we can do after. So the dad joke that we do in the beginning is a good icebreaker, good way to kind of open everybody up and have some fun. We went into your fitness journey and a little bit of nutrition, talked about your boxing and everything. Eric came up with the idea a while ago of doing a lightning round. So we're going to have some fun, and we're going to ask you kind of this or that type questions. There's no right or wrong answer. You're not going to don't get pressured. You just one of those, just answer, kind of whatever comes up, whatever pops in your head first. Right. So Eric, I will let you start, and then I'll jump in afterwards.
All right, I'll have a couple easy ones, quick ones here. Dumbbells or kettlebells?
Kettlebells.
Favorite exercise?
Boxing, sparring, mitt work.
Well, no, so favorite movement though. Favorite move, like strength movement. Sorry.
Strength movements.
Yeah.
Probably deadlifts.
Okay.
There we go.
Favorite boxing move.
We call it a stretch, but I'm not going to tell you what it is because I don't want people to tip off my opponent.
Oh yeah, there we go.
That's good. Fair. Dogs or cats?
Dogs.
Yes.
DC or Marvel?
Marvel.
Yeah.
All right. Favorite superhero movie?
Favorite superhero movie? I think it's going to be the original Captain America.
There we go.
Okay. That's a good one. Favorite food?
French fries.
Ooh.
Not currently.
Yeah.
So not okay. When you say I love French fries, like specific type of French fry or no?
So I'm from Chicago, and I'm sure nobody even in New England knows this, but there's a Chicago diner called Portillo's, and they have like the best, like they're skinny, but they have the curl a little bit to them, like the crinkle fries.
Yep.
Portillo's fries are good. It's like, I mean, McDonald's fries are good, but I can't even tell you the last time I even went to a McDonald's. So
that's probably not on your meal plan right now.
Yeah. So everybody knows that you don't touch my fries on my plate. That is my sacred thing. I've literally slapped people across the table. Just don't touch my fries. I will share any food with you. Just don't touch my fries.
Fair enough. Will not touch your fries. A go-to vacation spot.
Okay, that probably Italy.
Oh, nice.
Good choice. Let's see. Other questions. I'll go. What is your favorite workout song?
I'm a huge country girl.
Okay.
But my favorite workout song right now is going to be my walkout song. And I don't want to give that away yet.
Oh, yeah.
I was going to go into that, but I'm like,
that's awesome.
You got to keep that surprise.
Yeah. No, that's great.
Who is your superhero? Who do you look up to?
It's definitely my mom. I mean, I know that's really cliche, but she is as fit as they come. She was a PE coach, an aerobics coach, health and anatomy teacher. And at 65, I swear to God, I still am like, God, can my body just look as good as yours? Like, can I be as strong as you working out? And it was pretty funny. Like, I did a layover in Tampa where she lives now. And so I'm going to the gym with her, and I'm FaceTiming my boxing coach. And it was kind of a cool moment for me because she actually stopped and watched me and was really impressed with what I was doing. And it got to the point where she was even like, okay, I'm not doing your workouts with you. Like, I'm 65. You have to know that now. I can't do this anymore. And I'm like, oh my God, did I just surpass like my superhero in strength? Did I just do that? So yeah, Demarco, definitely my mom.
I love it. Demarco, that's all I got. What do you got?
Yeah. So, I should have asked this sooner, and I apologize for not doing this before the lightning round. For my side, is there anyone that you're doing this fight in honor of?
There's a handful of people that have definitely come and touched my life that have passed suddenly and had a long fight with cancer. I mean, I've had my Nana, I've had a childhood friend. But honestly, like, to me, the biggest thing is you'll see also the round card people are all people who are cancer survivors. In the fight, awesome. which is really cool. And for me, the main reason I'm fighting is I'm fighting for everybody who just can't fight. And everybody who's going through all these battles. And to me, yes, I'm fighting in honor of my Nana and my childhood friend Ryan. And there's a lot of people. I guess to me, what really cut down deep was you can't talk to somebody anymore who hasn't been affected by this disease. And that to me is really hard to swallow. So that was my main reason for wanting to fight, is that this is not a positive connection with people. And I really hate that it's become something that can connect people, and it's not a positive thing. So that's pretty much why I'm fighting.
That's powerful. Wow. Yeah. It's, that reminds me of the statistic that's been thrown around for at least the last 10 years, particularly I think from the Livestrong Foundation, but it was, I think, 1 in 2, it's either 1 in 2 or 1 in 3 people in the world will get some form of cancer in their lifetime. So that's it's wow. And you're right. No, there's no one, you have never talked to anyone who didn't at least either have a diagnosis or have a family member. I'm actually currently rocking the Team Perry wristband. My Strong First team leader, Mike Perry, is going through. Actually, he just went through treatment for colon cancer, and we're waiting for the results of his scan. So fingers crossed, Perry strong. So that's beautiful, Becca. I absolutely love that, and I'm just glad we took a moment to mention that. So that's freaking cool. So I know you said DC or Marvel. Who would be, if fictional wise, who would be your favorite superhero overall?
I'm a Black Panther girl.
Oh, there we go.
And Yeah, nice. A lot of that is so one of my really good friends, her like 3-year-old son is obsessed with Spider-Man. So every time I see him, he does this. I've gotten him, and I'm the only person. Anytime he sees me, Wakanda forever, and I love that. But I'm actually high risk for colon cancer, and that's how our Black Panther actually did pass away too. So that also has a deeper meaning for me.
Yep.
So that's part of the reason I really latched on. And I mean, I love Captain America because who doesn't love Chris Evans? And, Captain Marvel, badass chick. So, but it's still Black Panther. Every time, like, we went to Universal, a group of friends, we had t-shirts made and we all did like the masks based on our superheroes. And I did Black Panther. That's just always my go-to.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah. And I obviously huge respect and love for Chadwick Boseman, King T'Challa. Just a powerhouse actor, and what a legacy he left behind. Talk about crazy legacy. So That's awesome. Jedi or Sith?
Jedi.
Awesome. There we go. Star Wars or Star Trek?
Star Wars.
Awesome. Yeah. Now, we can't go through a full episode without asking a sports question. Bears or Patriots?
Okay, Bears. I'm from Chicago.
Yeah, I know. I figured
my losing team, and I love them to
death. Hey, to be fair, quick side note. I watched the game yesterday against San Francisco, and they overall played a very good game. I will say that. Jimmy G definitely got hot and started lighting it up. But no, Bears actually played a great game. So that was good. That was a much better game than I thought it was going to be. So good stuff.
I agree. And I do like Jimmy G a lot. So I can't hate on it, but I know it's going to be, I thought the Bears were going to do a lot better this year, but I've slowly learned that it's like a developing year. So we'll see. We'll see where it goes in the next couple of years. But
absolutely. Your quarterback's only going to get better. I think he's definitely shown some real promise. Fields is looking good. So
here's hoping.
Yeah, exactly. So football or hockey?
Oh, that's such a toss up for me.
Yeah, I know.
Baseball usually trumps everything, but you know what? I'm just going to go with hockey right now.
There we go. That's awesome.
Even though my Blackhawks haven't won a game all season, I'm just going to go with hockey.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. That's okay. We all have the
suffering
experience talking about exactly. So, tell us a fun fact about you, something that we don't know.
I actually was a swimmer for 15 years. I even did Junior Olympics, and then I played water polo for about 6 or 7 years.
Wow.
And I think that's where my boxing kind of got in is I needed something that was aggressive. And I missed my aggressive aspect in water polo. So, and it was great with the Olympics this year. They were in Tokyo, but because I wake up every morning between 2:30 and 3:30, I was able to wake up. And while I was getting ready for work, I watched the water polo games live. So it was great because I'm flying and my mom's texting me, "This is what's on tonight." And I go, "I watched it at 3 because I'm going to be sleeping when it's aired in the US."
Exactly. Yeah. No, that's awesome. Yeah, that's really, really cool. Yeah, I think and I love your Instagram page, by the way. I love all the travel stuff. I'm an active follower. I love watching all the cool places that you go to.
What's your sorry to interrupt you, Demarco. What's your Instagram handle so we know, so everybody knows?
Out of a suitcase.
Out of a suitcase. Got it.
Yeah. Because that's pretty much how my life has been lived. Out of a suitcase.
Exactly. No, I think it's really cool. And I'm going to link all of this below so everybody can find you. But so you got your Instagram page, Out of a Suitcase. There's Haymakers for Hope, where people can get a ticket. Can people make a donation on there as well if they can?
Absolutely.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Good.
And the ticket sales also go towards my donation page as well. And the link to get to my fighter page is on my Instagram account, which makes it really easy.
Perfect.
So if you go to my profile, there's the link.
Link in the bio. There we go.
That's right. Link in bio. You can see my personal fighter page, but you can also see the whole Bells of the Brawl, that whole the event page as well. So there's a nice little countdown on there. So if you really feel like, having an anxiety attack and you're like, oh my God, 49 days. So we do that every once in a while.
There you go. Oh, that's fun. Yeah, good stuff. Eric, do you have any more questions? Anything you want to ask?
I don't think so. No, we covered a lot of ground.
Awesome. Yeah, no, this was a really fun interview, Becca. I learned some really fun, cool stuff about you, and I knew you wouldn't disappoint. I knew this was going to be really, really interesting and really fun. So that is really, really cool. Like I said, I'm going to link everything below so that people can find you. So just to remind everybody, December 7th, Becca will be fighting. What is your opponent's name?
It's Katie Berardi. She is a Boston police officer.
Oh, there we go. That's awesome.
Flight attendant versus BPD.
I like that. Right? That's exciting. That sounds like the title of a viral YouTube video.
There you go.
But no, that's really cool. But and please give her a follow on Instagram if you're on Instagram. Out of a Suitcase. I'll link everything below. Becca, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate you being on here.
Thank you guys so much. It's been so awesome. It's an honor actually to be invited, and it's so good to see you guys again.
Absolutely, yeah. And I'm going to look at my schedule. I know we're in town that weekend, so I may surprise the wife with a couple tickets. We may have that be our date night. So
I love it. It is a Tuesday night, so just don't schedule any early morning meetings on Wednesday.
Yeah, no early mornings, and I gotta get a babysitter for during the week. So we'll definitely figure that out. So awesome. I want to leave all of you with a nice, empowering message and mission for yourself. Train your body, feed your mind.
Love it.
Awesome, Becca. That was mother effing awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys so much. Appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. And so this will get put up in about a week. So we put episodes up typically on Monday. Okay. And so we have one pre-recorded that's going to go up today from last week, but this one's going to go up next week, and I'll send you the link, the thumbnail, and all that fun stuff, so that we can so that you can promote it and we can get more people.
Absolutely, I'm going to promote it. I'm going to put it on everybody's fights page, Back to Back Boxing page. I'm going to put it on everybody's. I'm going to tag everybody.
That's awesome. We appreciate that. Yeah, and we'll post it on our social media channels. And if anything, maybe we can end up soliciting a few donations for you, if even just a
that would be great. Obviously, appreciate any bit helps really. So
yeah, absolutely. Do you for each fighter, do you all have a a goal, like a fundraising goal, like a minimum goal?
So I have 7,500 is my goal. Awesome. I'm almost there. I have a little less than two more to raise. But some of the girls have 10 grand. Some of them have already surpassed. And then as they surpass it, they just keep adding more and more to their goal.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I said, any little bit helps. And it's kind of been, some of my friends I fly with, they've been 110% my top cheerleaders, donating, buying tickets. They're making outfits for all of this. They're texting me words of encouragement. Great. And I did not expect this to be as much of an emotional roller coaster as it turned into be. And so last night I kind of had a heart to heart with one of them. And I said, I don't think you realize, I have thick skin. I don't get offended. I'm a very tough chick, but those little messages I get every now and then have helped so much during all of this that it's been overwhelming, the amount of support I've received. So
that's really, really cool. Yeah, and I absolutely love that. And I'm going to tell you right now, Becca, hopefully we can end up making the fight. If not, we will definitely be making a donation on there. So we'll definitely support you. Yeah, no worries. No, we love Eric and I love supporting people doing awesome things. And like you said, the cancer is something that touches everyone's lives. Right. So it's good stuff. Awesome. Well, I don't want to hold you up any longer. Becca, thank you so much for your time. It was such an honor to have you on.
Thank you guys so much. And I will look forward to all this, and I'll start promoting everything for you.
Awesome.
Great.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate that.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right. Bye, Becca.
Bye.
See ya.